Welcome back. This is Wake Up Sierra Leone on AYV television. We're on channel 3. We are also on DSTV on channel 399. We're on Radio FM 101.7. We're also online at www.ayvnews.com and also streaming on our Facebook page, AYV Sierra Leone. Now, in our first segment in the show, in the studio, we have been joined by Stephen Mambu, a member of the ruling Sierra Leone People's Party, the SLPP. Stephen, in a press conference held last week at Alledge Hall, questioned the nomination and election of President Bio as Flagbearer of the party. He referred to it as undemocratic and lawless. And he has also declared his intention of vying for the Flagbearer position of the party. Good morning, Stephen Mambu, and welcome to the
Good morning, sir.
It is a pleasure having you.
Nice meeting you, sir.
Also with us in the studios is retired Lieutenant Lawrence Lima. He's the National Publicity Secretary of the Sierra Leone People's Party. Good morning, Lima, and welcome to the
Good morning, Mr. Bar. Thank you for having me.
I'll start with you, Stephen. At that press conference, you're challenging the nomination or election of President Bio as Flagbearer. What's your stance on this? What's your position?
Well, this is my position. Let me display this to the world. This is my father's discharge book. He fought World War II, was a member of Royal West African Force. He fought for democracy when Hitler was savaging the whole world. This is his medals that he won. This is King George Medal. This is Bomber Medal. So my father fought for democracy in the world. I'm fighting for democracy in this country. And I still stand on my ground that the elections that took place at the Bo Convention were lawless, unconstitutional. That's not how we elect people in SLPP. SLPP is a democratic party. And I must go further. The SLPP is a party of God. When Jesus entered Jerusalem, he carried the palm leaf, Hosanna in the highest. So it's a party, we don't want another party in SLPP to force people. That is almost like, if you say Pauper, that, in Mende, I'm a Mende. If you say Pauper, you are forcing people. It's almost like a jihad organization. We don't want that kind of situation.
What the lawlessness?
The lawlessness is the chairman, Chris Harding, has no right by single-handedly nominating Maada at the convention. The way the convention, the way to get a flag bearer at the SLPP is that you have to have there are other people interested, not only myself. I have a policy speech that I worked for in this country from 1991. I came from the United States. I've been working. I launched democracy. If there's who is the father of democracy, it's Stephen Samambu of a small village in Sengama. Because when I came, I launched the democratic movement in this country. The second honor whom I got is President Joseph Momon, who authorized the multi-party system. And then we had a multi-party, and at that time, I launched a party. It was not actually a political party. It was just a research organization. I wanted to know a certain policy, whether the people of Sierra Leone will work on the British to be in this, and that's my goal all along from 1991 up to now. I have been working on that for 40 years. But
back to my question about, will you cite a part in the party's constitution that, was flouted in nominating President Bio to be flag bearer of the party, or this is just your opinion?
No, it's not an opinion. That's not the way we elect people in SLPP.
How? If you're saying it lawless, it must have been, you might have points, say, this is what the Constitution says, and this is what has been flouted.
The Constitution says, if you want to be a flag bearer in SLPP, you have to go and present your policy statement to 1,000 delegates. All these 1,000 delegates will vote. And in fact, I said the election was lawless because that election was not for flag bearer. That election was to elect the chairman, the deputy chairman, the secretary general, and other officials of the party. For whatever reason, Prince Hardy knows his own reason why he nominated Maada to be.
Why didn't you attend that?
No, I went to the convention.
You were there?
I went to Bo, but once I realized it was not for flag bearer.
But you remember, why didn't you raise it there? Why didn't you raise this concern?
I did not go to the convention itself. I sent, I sent two observers on my behalf to witness the election of the chairman, the vice chairman, the imam, and other officials, secretary general of the party. So when they went for whatever, according to the story that I heard, alleged, because this is an allegation, I don't know whether it's true, that Prince Harding authorized his security to shoot his driver. And when the fellow died in November, when they went to the convention, lo and behold, he nominated Maada. That convention was not for Flagbearer. We have to have another convention to actually nominate democratically and, you know, freely elect a Flagbearer of the party. Then we want to restore.
You were in the country when you know, members of your party were gathered in Bo, right? You were in.
Yeah, I was in Bo.
Why didn't you raise these issues then? Why are you?
Because I was not in the convention. I sent observers. I told my observers.
So why after the convention, say after President Bill has been, you know, unanimously, you know, endorsed as flag bearer of the party, why didn't you raise it then?
No, I have been working diplomatically before I came out. You know, I have been working behind the scene. This is not
to resolve the issue.
Yeah, to resolve the issue. I've been working diplomatically to resolve this issue. And look, we can take further steps, but this convention that elected Maada is not a flag bearer of SLPP. I can say this outright. The election was illegal, it was unconstitutional, and actually it was downright criminal because that's not how we elect flag bearers in SLPP.
Okay, Lima, here is a member of your party who is claiming that the flag bearer of your party was criminally and in a lawless way endorsed as flag bearer of the SLPP. Do you agree?
In the first place, I would not have come here if I knew I was coming to engage in such a nuisance practice. But given the fact that I have respect for my party members and I have respect for the people of this country, I came here actually to put forward to the public what we did right and not to validate any act of nuisance. And quite apart from that, discussing the presidency or the domain of the presidency, at least some amount of care is required. That is just a caution I want to say.
Are you cautioning him?
Yes, certainly.
Okay.
And over and above all, I had him talking about his father fighting or fought the war with Hitler or whatever. I think that's got no chemistry with the current democracy or the democracy of SLPP. My father was a valiant warrior in the World War II. So it's quite apart from that, that is not what we are looking at. What we are looking at here, we are looking at the democracy of the SLPP. We had a convention. First of all, I don't even know whether he's a member of this party. I have no clue of him. I've been in this party at least for the past, as an executive member for almost 8 years now. I have no clue, no insight of this person really talking here. What I would have, I don't know him. What I would have expected from him first, probably to show us his membership card or to tell us his registration number, which I've not heard from him. And so I don't even know whether he has locus to talk what he's talking. But however, for the correctness of what we did at CATCO, that is, I mean, at CATCO and also at the Bo Convention, that's why I'm here. So, unfortunately, I did not come with the party's constitution, but there are provisions in the constitution that says that the leader of the party, because we had a convention where we separated the office of the chairman from that of the leader, and by virtue of that fact, President Bill became the leader of the party at the CATCO convention, and it was also, there is a clause in that convention, I mean that constitution that says that the leader of the convention at the next elections can also be nominated for flag bearer. And so when we went to Bo, President Bill was nominated, and also the nomination was also put forward to the public. If, with no disrespect to him, but if he's a serious person who wanted to be flag bearer, certainly he was going to put his nomination forward. I think the second nomination was called and time was given. No other option came. And the conference in Bo unanimously endorsed President Bill as the flag bearer of the party, which was legitimate, and it was also democratically followed. And the president, the chairman of the party is a delegate, and The Secretary General is a delegate. I am a delegate. All national officers are delegates. And the Constitution is saying it is only delegates that has the right to nominate and also seconded by another delegate. And it is also a delegate that will have to nominate another person. And so we call for another nomination. So if he is a party member who is active and who is known in the party and who was serious about becoming flag bearer, certainly was going to put up his nominations. I think what I want to say here, that the SLPP has risen beyond any act of nuisance. We are a serious political party. We are a democratic party, and we are focused. We are moving ahead.
How does your party handle situations like this? You mentioned that he has been trying to handle this issue diplomatically to resolve it. Issues like this where a member is aggrieved or have concerns, how do you handle it as a party?
In the first place, if he's a member of the party, he should have known the procedure. That one is not to go to social media to rant on an issue that is illegitimate. I've sat with him, actually, the moment he started talking, I knew I should have. If I knew, I would not have come here. Certainly, like I said, it was just because of the respect for the public. That's why I'm here. So if I have any issues with the party, there are clauses in the Constitution that, firstly, I have to write to the party. If the party fails to listen to my concerns, there is PPRC. If I'm writing also as a Sierra Leonean, I can also, there are procedures to follow, right? It's not going to social media, coming to sit on the radio without even being clear for your own issues you want to present. So that's what the issues are.
Have you engaged the leadership of the party on this? Like you mentioned, there must be procedures within the party.
Yes,
if a member is aggrieved.
In fact, my uncle is one of the elders of this Sierra Leone party. I approached him, Honorable Jobson Momo, I approached him. I said, Uncle, this is wrong. This is not how we elect people in the party.
Have you officially raised these concerns as a member of your party? He's challenging your membership, first off.
First of all, I'm a member. I mean, he does not know. I was chairman of the board of directors in Washington, D.C., at the SLPP. My chairman is here, Dawes Wuri. He was the chairman then.
Of this. Since when?
Oh, since 2020, since for a very long time. I've been, yes.
And you've been an active member?
Yeah, I've been an active member. In Washington, D.C., we have Washington, D.C., Virginia, and also Maryland. We had a SLPP party. I used to attend the membership party all the time, pay my dues, and I became member of the board of directors. Let me correct the Honorable Minister. I think he does not understand even the procedure of the SLPP. You cannot, and I want to repeat this again, Maada Bill is not a flag bearer. I want to repeat this statement, and this is the statement that I will continue to repeat until we have that election, that nomination. The convention that he's talking about was not a convention to elect a flag bearer. There is a reason behind it, and I think we have to go further when something like this go on. We have to go further. If they don't trying to have, we want them, I want them to schedule a new flag bearer election convention.
Is it because you want to contest?
Of course, I want to contest the flag bearer. I have a signature policy that I want to present to this country. And the signature policy is we save this country from what is going on. I have truly.
What's your thoughts on President Bill's leadership, that you're challenging him this far? What's your thoughts on it?
The reason I'm challenging his nomination as a flag bearer. He is not a legitimate flag bearer.
You want to replace him as flag bearer?
Yes, I want to replace him because I think I can do a better job in this country. I can save the people of this country. I believe in absolute democracy. Now, this is the question. The president has said very often since I've been in this country. I'm going to 5 years. I heard from his disinformation minister that he's the father of democracy. No, he's not the father of democracy. And the president himself has said many times that he believes in democracy. Now, if you believe in democracy, why not allow other people to contest for the flag bearership?
But like you said, the party's constitution was reviewed. Members of the party endorsed what has been reviewed. They went to Bo. And I can recall, I watched live, I wasn't in Bo, but when President Bill was nominated, they asked for other nominations and no one came forward.
But because the reason is that party was not for the flag bearership. We're supposed to have two conventions in the party. That party was only to elect the chairman, the vice chairman, the secretary general, other members of the party.
But he's saying otherwise.
No, well, but he's wrong. That's what I'm telling you, he's wrong. We have to have another flag bearer election where other members who are interested to be the flag bearer of the party present their policy proposals to the delegates, then the delegates will vote. But that convention was wrong. It was completely wrong. It was unconstitutional. It was illegal. So the president is not a legitimized flag bearer as a party of SLPP.
Well, what actions are you intending to take? You know,
well, I would
just that the publicity secretary is saying all what you're saying.
No, well, if you know, I want them to agree to what is right in the party. We have to have a real democratic institution of the party, just what the APC has done. We need democracy in this country. If they don't adhere to what I'm appealing to the party to do, then we'll take further steps.
What are those steps? What?
No, I'm not going to name them, but there's further steps. No, I'm not going to name anything, but we have to take further steps. We have to have a legitimate flag bearer to contest the election 2023.
And you don't think President Bio is legitimate?
No, I believe that 100%. And then, let me say this. If we go to the election as the way this election, the flag bearer is, SLPP will lose because of the present prevailing conditions in the country. I have three magic proposals.
You are all over the place. You are just all over.
Yes, let's listen to him. Let's listen to it. But you make your point, Mr. Minister.
You make your point, Mr. Minister. Give me a chance.
Yeah, go ahead.
I continue to insist that the flag bearer election in Bo was illegitimate. It was unconstitutional. It's illegal. That's why we are challenging. If I can speak 100 guests to 100 people, that is my position. We have to have a new flag bearer election. That is the way we elect people in SLPP to be a flag bearer. You present your positions, your policy papers to the delegates, so the delegates will be allowed freely, democratically, to vote for the flag bearer. This was not done in Bo.
Okay.
And before, let me repeat this again. That Bo convention was not to elect the flag bearer. If that was for the flag bearer, I would have gone to Bo and attended the convention. But I went there to send observer to observe the election of the chairman and the other, because there was other parties, there were other person who was opposing the chairmanship. So that is my position up to now, and we can go to 100 interviews. That is my position. We have to have a new flag bearer election.
Mr. Minister, you know, are you looking forward to any further action a member of your party might take against, you know, the elections you held or the convention you held in Bo?
If he fails to submit any legitimate, because he's not even clear as to when he was a member of the party, but if he fails to submit any clear issues of the party and continue in this manner of ranting in order to cause disaffection for the party, I will personally sue him to court, because it's my job that is making it difficult. He's trying to make my job difficult for me by causing unnecessary disaffection for the party and trying to ridicule or bring the image of the party into disrepute and public ridicule. If he fails to substantiate whatever accusation is putting forward, and if he fails also to clarify his membership, I will personally sue him.
What if he proved that what if he proved that he is a member of the party and he has these concerns?
If he proves he's a member of the party and he's clear on his concerns, there are procedures. He has to follow that procedure. But if he fails to do that and he continues to bring the image of the party into public ridicule and disrepute, I will not only follow, if he's a member, of course, there are procedures will take also to discipline him as a member of the party. If he's also not a member and he's pushing this far, I know if he's coming as a member of the public, there are procedures to follow. But if he fails to do all of those, I'll personally sue him to court. Let him go to court and substantiate whatever claims he has.
Yours is a party that you know, that has been saying, you know, you believe in democracy and democratic principles, like he mentioned. Do you consider this as part of that democratic process where someone who is a member of your party could come out and challenge processes and procedures? Well,
this is a wrong method. As the public relations officer, I think I'm guiding him now to do what is right. If he's a member of the party at all, if he's a member of the party at all, I am now guiding him to do what is right. Failure, if he's a member, he will certainly be disciplined. If he's not a member, there are also other steps I can take personally as a national officer of the party. Like I've said, I will sue him to court.
Mr. Mambo, are you ready to go to court?
If he takes his steps, if he's not satisfied what I've said, I want a new Flagbearer election. Let he take it to any level he wanted to. I know I'm right. Every party member, except few of them, they know I'm right. That convention was not for the Flagbearer election. That convention was to elect the chairman, the vice chairman, the secretary general, and other officials of the party.
So why are you not challenging this issue with the Political Parties Registration Commission? These are institutions set up to address issues.
Oh yes, I did that. I wrote a look, I have done so many things behind the scene before I came publicly. If they had listened, I wrote a letter to the Political Party Commission. I wrote a letter to the Electoral Commission. I even wrote a letter to the United Nations representative in Sierra Leone. So I have done so many other things, diplomatically, internationally, and nationally. I've taken these steps. Okay, so it's left for them to correct. Look, let me repeat this. I'm very consistent in my life. I want a new Flagbearer election so people can represent themselves, excuse me, give policy statement, let the delegates freely, democratically elect the Flagbearer. That is my concern. All other things is manuals, because this is what is, we need a democratic system in the SLPP. That's what I'm interested in.
Are you worried of whatever action, like you said, the party could take against you?
Oh yes, I'm not worried. I'm not worried because I know I'm right. I mean, if he take me to court, they will tell him the first thing, say, Minister, that convention was not for the Flagbearer election. That's number one. That convention was funded for the Flagbearer election. That convention was to elect officials of the SLPP, not for the Flagbearer.
Are you doing this alone, or you have people who are supporting you?
Oh, I have supporters. I have supporters in the party, but they will not come out now until later.
They will disown you.
No, they will not Mr. Minister, in fact, first of all, personally, you know, let me make this statement. My political philosophy is deeply rooted in my Catholic faith of Almighty God. I want the right things to be done. That's how I was born. That's how I do things.
So apart from politics, this is a religious fight?
Of
He's
course.
a dishonest man. You are not even portraying yourself as a Catholic. You are being dishonest.
Oh, you don't.
With all due respect to you.
You know, well, you don't even know me.
No.
I'm married in St. Patrick's Cathedral in
Washington. You are not
Washington.
I yourself as a Catholic.
I'm a Catholic.
No.
I know you attend to my church,
you
but
are
you're
not carrying yourself as one.
That's what I'm telling myself as a Catholic. This is wrong. First of all, they will tell you, Mr. Minister, that this election, the Flagbearer election, the convention was not for Flagbearership. They will tell you. That's the first thing they will tell you. Mr. Minister, you are wrong.
You don't even understand the functionality of the party.
Okay,
You have no knowledge as to how the party functions.
Well,
you don't even know the capacity of the conference itself. What the conference can do, you don't know.
Mr. Minister, let me explain this to you. That powerful statement in any organization is a jihadist movement. It's almost like a terrorist organization. We're not going to allow in our party. Our party is a democratic.
I didn't know he has capacity issue.
Are you accusing you know, those who elect the presidents of
No, I think you know what I'm saying is wrong. It's a wrong procedure. You cannot. This is a party of almost about 2 million members. You cannot single-handedly nominate a flag bearer. There's a procedure for it, as I said it from the beginning.
But it was the members who endorsed him. It was at the convention where he was nominated.
Let me tell you, that convention, let me repeat again, was not for flag bearership.
Mr. Minister, he is so insistent on his point. How do you convince him?
The man does not know how the party functions. The National Delegate Conference is the biggest body in the party, can make any decisions that has to do with the party. Now, we went for the National Delegate Conference. The flag bearer of the party, who happens to be the leader of the party, is also a member, is also a national officer of the party. So whether you are flag bearer, whether you are chairman, a leader of the party, it's all national officers' elections, right? So that is what he does not know. And I have said that clearly here, that we went to Katko, and in Katko, when the office of the chairman and leader was separated, there was an elections for leadership into which President Bio was elected as a leader. And there is a clause in that constitution that said at the next delegate conference, the leader of the party, if the delegates so wish, the national delegates so wish, they can confirm him or also nominate or elect any other person as flag bearer of the party. So we went, and the chairman, who happens to be also a delegate of the party, and the secretary general, did nominate and also confirm the nomination, and also it was also put forward to the general conference for any other nomination. That is why I said if he was serious of becoming a flag bearer, if at all he's a member of the party, because I still question his membership, and from here that is what I'm going to prove, because I heard I was coming to talk to somebody who is challenging issues. I didn't know who is he. Now that I know,
the issues.
yes,
those
now
are,
that I know, what I'm saying, now that I know who I'm dealing with, and he's claiming to be a member of the SLPP, I'm not going to search for his membership. If he's a member of the party, certainly we know the steps we have to take. If he's not a member of the party as well, I'll caution him to go through the right procedure. As a member of the public and as a citizen of this country, there are procedures to go through. But failure, then also engaging in public discourse on an issues that you are not even clear on, and you cannot even substantiate your point, meaning you are trying to bring the image of my party into public ridicule and cause disaffection for the party, for which I can sue him to court.
Mr. Mambu, he's explained the process and procedures. Do you understand, or are you convinced of what?
No, I'm not convinced. The first statement is this: that convention, I want to repeat again, maybe he does not understand.
But he just explained.
The convention was not for flag bearership. That convention was to elect members of the officials of the party from chairman down.
Whoever has said that to you is misleading you and is landing you into trouble.
Well, they nobody.
No. I will caution you firstly as a PR of the party, because that's my job. If you claim to be a member of this party, I will caution you and I will guide you to do your assignment well, right? Whoever is pushing you is causing problem for you, and he will not be there to stand by you.
Do you suspect that?
Certainly, the one he's doing, he's not even familiar with the process. He's not a member of the party, as far as I'm concerned.
Well,
he's not a member of the party.
That's a false accusation. You know, I'm a chief grand patron of the party.
If you are a chief grand patron of the party, we are not quarreling.
Yeah.
If you are a chief grand patron of the party, you should have known the functions of the party. That is what I'm saying. But let's say you've been away from the party for quite a long time. You are not familiar with the process. You are not familiar with the practices. You do not, that's why I'm taking my time to guide you. If you are a member of the party, you have issues, you have to pick that issues with the executive of the party or the national office of the party. If your issues,
inviting him?
No, I'm not inviting him. I'm only guiding him as a PRO. If your issues or your concerns are not properly treated as at the party level, there is also the PPRC. There's a PPRC to go.
Last time you attended the party function, or you went
exactly.
You know,
Have you been to the party office?
Of course, several times since I came. I came in August 2018.
And you're only meeting you guys are only
I don't
meeting
even
for
know.
No, we met briefly. I don't know him, but he's a member of my church.
He's a member of the party, but he does not know.
Well, let me say this. Let me repeat this statement again. Maada Bill is not a legitimate flag bearer of the party.
You can challenge that in court.
We can take. Well, you don't guide us that. We're going to take further steps if our concerns are not addressed fully.
Where would you address your concerns? At AYV?
No, I'm not addressing my concern at AYV.
So where would you think you have to take your concerns if you have one?
Who do you expect to address your concern? Because you said you've engaged.
I've engaged.
And because I've engaged
PPRC. I wrote a letter. The letter.
Did they respond?
No, they never respond. You know. I mean, it's almost like dictatorship.
I told you, he was claiming here is a Catholic. What if we go and check you've never written to PPRC?
Supposing you check that I wrote to PPRC.
I'm asking you, what if we go to PPRC? It happens that you never wrote to PPRC.
And he's asking you too. What if he?
What if I wrote to? No, I wrote the.
Then he's right.
I wrote I wrote PPRC. I wrote the Electoral Commissioner. I wrote the United Nations delegates to this country.
You wrote to the chairman. Did you write to the chairman?
No, I didn't write to the chairman.
But he's the chairman of the party. Why didn't you?
No, but let me. The reason I didn't write to him because he is working in the wrong direction in the party, because first of all, let me repeat this statement again, and that's a statement I will insist on if he take me to court. That election at Bow Convention was illegitimate.
But you can't substantiate that.
It was legal because it was illegal.
You can't substantiate that.
That conference, Bow Conference, was not to elect the flag bearer. We have two elections in the party, and many people know that, even in the party. So that convention was not the flag bearer. It was to elect the officials of government. That is my point. Even if we go somewhere,
can you explain to me, and for the interest of the public, can you explain what's the function of the National Delegate?
Let me take some messages. We've got loads of them. Let me read some of them. Before we take into the summary of the news. This first one say. Good morning, Mr. Lamon. I think the minister is threatening Mr. Mambu. He seems so harsh and he's threatening the man. Another message I'll take is from Kayla. She says, Chief Grand Patron of the party, whoever is advising him to take such a move. And Eddie Grant is saying, Mr. Mambu, please produce your membership card to show that you're a legitimate member of the party. Ambassador Mike Joseph Kanu says, what I'm saying to the SLPP is that dialogue with the man to see how you can resolve the issue. But if you think you want to intimidate him, it will not work. Democracy should be at play in all political parties. Mr. Mambu from Mohamed Jallo. Mr. Mambu, say it louder again. This movement in the SLPP is ready to crush whoever comes their way. They just want to have their way pauper, but time will tell soon. Kayla says, I'm sure it needs attention from the government, another distraction for the 2023 elections. Med Sledge says, I think Lima is in the studio as SLPP PRO, not as a minister. Please let us not mix the two. Yes, we're speaking to him as publicity secretary of the Sierra Leone People's Party. I'll take two more and we move to David Remy Wilson for the news summary. Mustafa Sano says, Lamgana, please ask Mr. Mambu if they go into an election, if he is sure that he will defeat President Bio. Another person is asking from Tunde Scott, he's saying if our judicial system is not influenced by the executive branch of government, it should look into the issue and pass an injunction and reverse the nomination of President Bio and set a date for another election or procedure to be followed. Sule Kamara is saying, Mr. Mambu, I hope someone is not paying you to come and disrupt a peaceful political party like the SLPP. Please stop this. Joe Kamara is saying, Mr. Mambu, you have not convinced us as members of the SLPP. First thing you should have done, you should have produced your membership card to show us that you're a bona fide member of the party and you're challenging the issues. The final one I'll take is from Samura Toure. He's saying, Mr. Minister, please, I'm reading a message so that you can. Mr. Minister, please take these concerns as legitimate concerns and see how you can dialogue with Mr. Mambu. I'm sure he's convinced that he's a member of the party and his concerns must be addressed. This is Wake Up Sierra Leone on AYV Television. We're on channel 93, on DSTV on channel 399. We're also streaming live on our Facebook page, AYV Sierra Leone. We've read some of the messages, and I'll start with you, Mr. Mambu. I'm sure you had some of the messages. People are asking that you produce your membership. Oh
yes, I'll produce my membership card. I'll produce my membership card from Washington, D.C. My chairman is here, Dawes Wuri, who appointed me as a member of the board of chairman. Now, let me just say this, to put this thing, this is a very simple thing to put it to rest. If these people really believe that they did the right thing, why not call a new convention? That's what we're challenging. We're not asking for the moon, we're not asking for the earth.
But that comes with a lot of resources.
No, but the right things to be done has to consider resources. But that's why
you are the only member of this party who've come out and challenged what happened in Bo. Even in writing.
Well, let me say this. Well, let me say, if the president, he has said several times he believes in democracy. That was not a democratic election. There was nobody there to challenge. And then my point is this again. That convention was not a flag bearer election. That's why you didn't see many people to go up there to present themselves as a flag bearer. Had that been a flag bearer election, which we're expecting in 2023, I have a signature policy speech that I work on for over 40 years for the benefit of this.
I'll come talk to you about your speech. Someone is also mentioning, asking that if you're being used by someone, by people to, you know, raise up this issue to challenge the president.
No, nobody used me. I'm using my own conscience. I know it's wrong, what happened, because I have signature policy speech that I worked for this for over 40 years, that I have wanted to present at a convention. Had that convention been a convention for the flag bearer, that was not for the convention. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I never even...
Will you want to present that same document to the president if you have the opportunity to meet with him?
Oh, yes. I met Maada before. Maada is a brother, and I met him before. You remember when I met him? When he became head of state, military head of state. I went to his... He sent for me. I went to him. And the issue that I brought to him was about Israel, our recognition of Israel. In fact, I made, during the symposium at ABC, when the late Alledge was the leader of the party, I made a presentation that we should re-establish diplomatic relations with Israel. On other issue, he called me, I went and visited him. And I made that issue several times with Barrington Strasser, even before. I brought delegation from the United States about 8 times in this country. I came to this country in 1991. I launched a democracy. After I launched the democracy, I went back and forth for 6 years after the election of Tijan Kaba before I left this country. And for the information of the minister, I took a delegation to England and appealed to the British, Mr. Allison, Honorable Michael Allison, that I wanted the British to get involved because my father died in the refugee camp. I was concerned about, and this is my concern, things that are not going well. I don't want the other issue again to come up with rebel war. Most of us, I lost my father in the rebel war at the refugee camp in Guinea. He died at the Colombia refugee camp. That's why I believe in the truth and nothing but the truth and justice for the party.
Okay. Mr. Minister, some of the questions about his concerns and the legitimacy, what's your response to them?
Let me establish his membership first before I looked into that.
Okay.
That's one. Two, he himself is not even clear on the issues he's presenting. Thirdly, he does not understand the operations and functions of the party. So I would advise him, whoever is pushing him, let them go and teach him well to understand the functions of the conference itself, to understand that clearly, and to understand the clauses under which that elections went. He has to be cleared on those issues, and then he advised himself whether he has issues to come up with if he's a member of the party. But without those, if he continue in this manner, I'll stop at nothing but to sue him to court.
Okay. We need to round up, Mr. Mambu.
Let me say this. The minister cannot threaten me to court.
I'm not threatening you.
What I'm saying is this.
But you cannot bring the image of the party into dispute. I'm a public critical of the party.
Let me make my point. Let me repeat this statement again before the closing. The president is not a legitimate flag bearer of the party.
There is a method of challenging that. If you are
well, that's why we're going to challenge it if we don't see nothing is done to
so follow the right procedure to challenge that.
Okay. He is very clear about taking you to court. You are not clear about what could be your action.
I would take further steps.
Okay.
Okay.
And that he can take going to court?
Well, I'm not going to name it now, but I can take further steps. If this is not, the flag bearer is not resolved, we have other steps to take that we can rectify this situation.
Finally, you were talking about your plan for this country. What's that plan?
This is my plan. Okay, one, that's what many people don't even understand. My signature policy is one, is to bring the British for them to have absolute control of the civil service system. Work with them. You know, the British, some people don't even understand that the British
to take over the civil service
system.
We are not still independent.
Okay.
That's what he's telling.
Well, you don't understand independence. Independence does not mean you can work with one another. I mean, look at all the streets are dirty. You call it independence.
So you're going to bring the British to come and clean the streets?
No, it's not to clean the street, but we can work with them. The signature policy that I'm going to present is to bring the British so they can take over absolute civil service system. And you know what that would do?
Absolutely.
You know what that would do? It would limit the tribalism of employment in the government. Okay? Because that's what is going on. And we don't want another Rwanda in this country.
So that's your signature policy?
That's my signature. It's not finished. To bring the British back in this country, to take absolute control over the civil service system, and then give 3% to the United States. give British 35% of natural resources. That means the British people will be stakeholders of this country. They will come and invest in this country. But right now, nobody would, they will not do it.
You're giving away our sovereignty.
No, it's not sovereignty. If you know the British built this country. You know they built this country.
But we are an independent state.
No, independence is something you don't work with people.
But that's not what you are saying. You are talking about absolute decision here. You said you bring the civil service absolutely under the British.
Yes, that's what we do. That's my signature.
So what's your understanding about the word absolute?
Do you have intention of becoming president of Sierra Leone?
Yes, yes, definitely. And I will make the life better of Sierra Leoneans than any president I have been in this country.
You're hopeful of contesting under the Sierra Leone People's Party?
Sierra Leone People's Party, yes, definitely.
So
and this is a challenge to the president. I think the minister can. I think the minister can take the challenge to the president. If the president has said consistently, he truly believe in democratic system. I think he's afraid of me. That's what it is. Yes, I think because if we go to the convention, we present our policies.
The president
I can defeat him.
He's a friend of you or what?
He says he's afraid of him.
You cannot even have one. You cannot even vote for yourself.
Okay, we need to close. We need to close. We need to close. But finally, I want to ask, if you have the opportunity to meet with President Biya, what will you say to him?
I will tell him, Mr. President, you have consistently said that you believe in democracy.
Certainly.
Let the Americans say, the proof is in the pudding. Prove yourself that you are a democratic man. Allow other flag bearers, not only me. I'm not only speaking on myself. And if you go into an
election with him, you'll defeat him.
I will defeat him, definitely.
Thank you very much.
Are you sure you can vote for yourself?
Yeah, I can defeat him, Mr. Lima.
Are you sure you can vote for yourself?
I can defeat Maada Bill in the convention.
Can you vote for yourself?
Of course.
When you are not even clear on when you join the party.
Thank you. Just have a seat as we close. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us. This is Wake Up Sierra Leone. We've been speaking to Lilo and Slima of the Sierra Leone People's Party and Mr. Mambuya, who is challenging, insisting that the decision in Bo to endorse President Biya's flag bearer of the party, the Sierra Leone People's Party, was not done in the right way. Thank you very much for joining us, and we wish you well in your endeavors.
Thank you, sir.